The London sun hung lazily in the sky, casting a warm glow over the quiet suburban street. Elon Musk, dressed in a simple black t-shirt and jeans, walked with no particular destination in mind. He had slipped away from his usual whirlwind of meetings and deadlines, craving a moment of anonymity. The city's usual buzz felt distant here, replaced by the chirping of sparrows and the occasional hum of a passing bicycle. Then he saw her. A small girl, no older than 8, sat behind a rickety wooden stand with a hand-painted sign that read, "Lemonade, £1. Help me buy Mum a gift." Her curly hair was tied into 2 messy pigtails, and her knees were scraped, as if she'd fallen more than once while setting this up. She swung her legs under the table, humming to herself, her eyes scanning the street for customers. But the street was empty. Elon slowed his steps. He hadn't planned on stopping, but something about her determination, the way she straightened her back when she thought someone might be looking, made him pause. "Business slow?" he asked, shoving his hands into his pockets. The girl startled, then beamed. "You're my first customer today." Elon glanced at the pitcher of lemonade, half full, beads of condensation rolling down its sides. "How long have you been out here?" 3 hours, she admitted, wrinkling her nose. "But it's okay. I just need to sell a little more. Then I can get Mum something really special." Elon studied her face, the stubborn hope in her eyes, the way she clutched the edge of the table like it was the most important thing in the world. He reached for his wallet. "I'll take a cup." The girl lit up, scrambling to pour him a drink. As she handed him the paper cup, their fingers brushed, and Elon noticed the smudges of marker on her hands, evidence of her homemade sign. He took a sip. The lemonade was too sweet, slightly watery, and undoubtedly made with the kind of earnestness only a child could muster. "It's perfect," he said. And then, before he could stop himself, he asked the question that would change everything. "How much for the whole stand?" Elon held the cup of lemonade, the ice clinking softly as he studied the girl. There was something disarmingly genuine about her, no pretense, no hidden agenda. Just a kid with a pitcher of lemonade and a dream. "Why are you selling this?" he asked, though he'd already seen the sign. He wanted to hear her say it. The girl wiped her hands on her denim overalls, leaving faint streaks of sugar behind. "For my mum," she said, matter-of-factly. "Her birthday's next week, and I want to buy her something really nice." Elon raised an eyebrow. "What kind of something?" She bit her lip, thinking hard. "Well, first I thought chocolates, but then I saw this necklace in a shop window. It's got a tiny heart on it. Mum always says hearts are cheesy, but she smiles when she says it, so I think she secretly likes them." A faint smirk tugged at Elon's lips. Kids had a way of seeing through people, even their own parents. "And how much is this secretly loved heart necklace?" he asked. £200, she said, her voice dropping to a whisper, as if admitting something impossible. Then, quickly, she added, "But it's fine. I've got £12 already from yesterday. If I sell all the lemonade today, that's another 8. Then I just need—" She started counting on her fingers, her nose scrunched in concentration. Elon watched her, an unfamiliar warmth spreading in his chest. He'd spent years negotiating billion-dollar deals, but here was a child doing mental math over a £1 lemonade stand, determined to make her mother happy. The street was still empty. No one was coming. He made a decision. "Tell you what," he said, setting the cup down. "I'll buy all of it." The girl blinked. "All the lemonade?" "All of it. The whole stand. The pitcher, the cups, even the sign." Her eyes widened. "But—" "Then I won't have a stand tomorrow." Elon reached into his pocket and pulled out his wallet. "You won't need one." He unfolded a crisp £10,000 note, the kind most people only saw in movies, and held it out. The girl's mouth fell open. For a long moment, she just stared at the money, then at Elon, then back at the money. Her hands hovered in the air, as if she was afraid it would vanish if she touched it. "Is this a joke?" she whispered. Elon shook his head. Consider it an investment. You've got a good business sense. And your mum deserves that necklace. The girl's eyes welled up. She swiped at them fiercely, but a single tear escaped, rolling down her cheek. I don't even know your name. Elon. She nodded, swallowing hard. Then, with sudden determination, she grabbed the money, and threw her arms around him in a tight hug. Elon stiffened. He wasn't used to hugs, especially not from teary-eyed children who smelled like sugar and sunshine. But after a second, he awkwardly patted her back. When she pulled away, she was grinning. Mum's gonna freak. Elon chuckled. I hope so. The girl, Elon now knew her name was Sophie, stared at the 10,000-pound note as if it might dissolve between her fingers. Her knuckles were white where she clutched it. You're really giving me this, she whispered. Elon shrugged. Consider it an advance on your next business venture. He glanced at her pitifully small stand, the slightly lopsided sign, the nearly empty pitcher. You've got potential. Sophie's lower lip trembled. But this is too much. The necklace is only 200, and the lemonade isn't even that good. I made it too sweet and... Sophie. Elon crouched down to her eye level, something he rarely did. Do you know why most businesses fail? She shook her head, wide-eyed. Because they think small. He tapped the crumpled bill in her hand. This isn't charity. It's proof that when you work for something, even something as simple as lemonade, the universe notices. A beat of silence. Then Sophie's face screwed up in sudden suspicion. Are you a wizard? Elon barked out a laugh. No. Just a guy who recognizes hustle when he sees it. Sophie chewed her lip, staring at the money. Then, with sudden resolve, she shoved it deep into her overall pocket and stuck out her hand. Deal. Elon shook it solemnly. Her grip was sticky from lemonade. So. Sophie eyed him. Do you, want the lemonade now? Because I can pour it into something. Keep it. Elon straightened. Consider that part of your startup capital. Sophie gasped. I'm a startup? Before Elon could respond, a black Tesla glided silently to the curb. The window rolled down, and a harried-looking assistant leaned out. Sir, the Berlin team is waiting on that call. In a minute. Elon didn't take his eyes off Sophie. Need a ride home? Sophie hesitated, glancing at her stand. Mum says not to get in cars with strangers. Smart mum. Elon pulled out his phone. How about this, we call her, tell her you're coming home with a billionaire and 10 grand. If she says no, I walk away. Sophie's nose wrinkled. You're a billionaire? Allegedly. She considered this, then nodded. Okay. But only because you bought all my lemonade. And if you're secretly a kidnapper, I will scream. Elon smirked. Duly noted. As the Tesla pulled away, Sophie pressed her face to the window, watching her abandoned stand grow smaller. Wait, what about my table? And my sign? Elon didn't look back. Sometimes you have to leave things behind to move forward. Sophie blinked. That's kinda deep. Yeah, Elon muttered. I should tweet that. Sophie's fingers trembled as she clutched the 10,000-pound note against her chest. The crisp paper felt alien in her small hands. This wasn't just money, this was magic. The kind of thing that happened in movies, not on her quiet London street where the most exciting event was usually Mrs. Henderson's cat escaping again. You're really letting me keep this? Her voice came out thin, disbelieving. Elon had already lifted the nearly empty lemonade pitcher with one hand. That was the deal, he said simply, as if handing life-changing sums to children was an everyday occurrence. Sophie's brain short-circuited. But I didn't even do anything special. I just made lemonade with too much sugar and sat here all morning. Elon paused, the pitcher hovering midair. Exactly. Sophie blinked. You showed up, he said, setting the pitcher in the trunk of the Tesla with surprising care for something worth maybe £5. You built a stand. You made a product. You put yourself out there even when nobody came. His mouth quirked. That's more than most adults do. Sophie's vision blurred. She swiped angrily at her eyes. Big girls didn't cry, especially not in front of mysterious billionaires who smelled like expensive cologne and possibility. Elon reached into his pocket and pulled out a handkerchief. Here. Sophie took it, blowing her nose loudly. The handkerchief came away with a smudge of pink marker from where she'd decorated her sign. You're a terrible businessman, she informed him wetly. This is the worst trade deal in history. Elon laughed, a real, unguarded sound that made him look younger. Kid, I've made worse. The assistant in the Tesla cleared their throat pointedly. Right. The real world. Elon straightened his jacket. Come on. Let's get you home before your mum calls the police. Sophie hesitated, glancing back at her rickety stand. The sign flapped sadly in the breeze. Wait, my table. We'll have someone collect it, Elon said, already guiding her toward the car. Sophie dug in her heels. No. I built that with my dad before she cut herself off, cheeks flushing. Elon froze. The air between them shifted. Before he left, he guessed quietly. Sophie nodded, staring at her scuffed sneakers. The left one had a doodle of a dinosaur near the toe. Elon exhaled through his nose. Then, to everyone's surprise, especially his own, he walked back, folded the stand carefully, and loaded it into the car alongside the lemonade. There, he said, brushing wood chips from his sleeves. Now we're really terrible businessmen. Sophie launched herself at him in another sticky hug. This time, Elon didn't stiffen. He just patted her back awkwardly and said the words that would replay in Sophie's mind for years. You're going to do great things, kid. But today? Today you're just getting your mum a necklace. The Tesla glided through London streets like a shadow, its near-silent electric hum doing little to calm Sophie's racing heart. She sat stiffly in the cream-colored leather seat, the £10,000 note carefully folded in her overall pocket where she could feel its crisp edges against her thigh. Every few seconds, she'd sneak a glance at Elon, as if expecting him to suddenly morph into a pumpkin or declare this all an elaborate prank. You keep staring, Elon remarked without looking up from his phone. Sophie quickly averted her eyes. Sorry. It's just. You don't look like a billionaire. That got his attention. He arched an eyebrow. And what do billionaires look like? I dunno more. Shiny. She gestured vaguely at his plain black t-shirt. Where's your golden suit? Your diamond shoes? Elon's lips twitched. I'll make a note for next time. The car turned onto Sophie Street, a row of modest brick houses with tiny front gardens. Her stomach did a flip when she spotted number 24, its blue door slightly chipped where Dad had accidentally hit it with his bike years ago. The memory made her throat tighten. Here we are, Elon said as the Tesla came to a stop. Sophie didn't move. Now that the moment was here, panic set in. What do I say? Hey Mum, I sold 3 cups of lemonade and a billionaire gave me 10 grand. She'll think I robbed a bank. Elon considered this. Tell her you secured an investor. Before Sophie could respond, the blue door flew open. Sophie Elizabeth Parker. Her mum stood silhouetted in the doorway, phone in hand, wild-eyed. Where on earth have you? She froze mid-sentence, taking in the black Tesla, the unfamiliar mun, her daughter's guilty expression. Sophie swallowed hard. Mum, I can explain. Is this man bothering you? Her mum was already marching toward the car, protective fury in every step. Elon exited the vehicle with his hands raised in surrender. "Miss Parker, I assure you." "Mum." Sophie scrambled out, waving the £10,000 note like a white flag. "Look what happened." The sight of the money stopped her mum dead. Her gaze darted between the cash and Elon, recognition dawning. "You're that SpaceX-man." "Unfortunately," Elon muttered. Sophie launched into a breathless explanation: the lemonade stand, the offer, the insane amount of money. As she spoke, her mum's expression cycled through shock, disbelief, and something Sophie couldn't quite place. When the story finished, her mum turned to Elon. "Why?" Elon shifted uncomfortably. "She reminded me of someone." "Who?" "Me." A beat of silence. Then her mum did the last thing Sophie expected: she laughed. A real, belly-deep laugh that made her wipe her eyes. "Oh God! You're serious?" Elon looked vaguely offended. "I'm often serious." "Come inside," her mum said, still chuckling. "Both of you. I'm making tea, and you," she pointed at Sophie, "are explaining how you plan to declare this to HMRC. Part 6. The Gift. 2 hours later, Sophie practically vibrated with excitement as she stood outside the jewelry shop, Elon and her mum flanking her. The heart necklace glittered in the display window, just as beautiful as she remembered. "Ready?" her mum asked, squeezing her shoulder. Sophie nodded fiercely. The bell jingled as they entered. The shopkeeper, an elderly man with kind eyes, smiled when he saw Sophie. "Back again, miss? Changed your mind about those chocolates?" Sophie marched to the counter with all the gravitas an 8-year-old could muster. She unfolded the £10,000 note with a dramatic flourish. "I'll take the heart necklace, please." The shopkeeper's glasses slid down his nose. 20 minutes and much paperwork later, Sophie held the small velvet box like it contained the crown jewels. "Can we go home now?" she begged. "I want to give it to her today." Her mum smiled.